that Shadowhunter without Spirit Link. Now Focus got a bit careless here and let his Blade Master take damage. He got really lucky there. I think Lin was down one Raider for the kill. If he had one more Raider, he would have been able to make that kill with a final ensnare. But and then Focus sort of cheekily popped a kill on the Raider as he was running out with that very damaged Blade Master. But yeah, if you see the unlinked Shadowhunter, you want to focus down right away. Force them to link it again, or if they don't, they're in big trouble because they're going to take a huge amount of damage on their Shadowhunter. Every hit from a Blade Master is potentially deadly because of the critical. So if you let the Blade Master get like 2 hits on your Shadowhunter, it could potentially do a lot of damage. That's why Spirit Link is there. It helps reduce that. And yeah, you don't want your Shadowhunter to have to burn a healing wave on himself. I mean, that's not what it's for. It's for healing your army, not for healing itself. Yeah, I haven't talked about Healing Wave yet. Basically, the point of the Healing Wave is another spell that works really well with Spirit Link. The bounce is essential. If you don't know how it works, the first wave does heal more damage than the rest. It's like 65% reduction on each one, I think. I'm not sure of the exact number. It's 65 or 75 or something like that. But, so you want to target a damage thing, preferably the thing that is being focused by the opponent's Blade Master at that moment. Because, first of all, it's really annoying to have that healed. And second, that's probably the most damaged thing, because the Blade Master does so much damage. Notice that Lin still does not have a damage item on his Blade Master, except for that circlet. And that's putting him at a disadvantage. Now, that was a good dust there. So he dusted and just caught the Blade Master out, and now he's going to be able to put a fair amount of damage on it. And Lin, that was a risky move by Lin, but also a good dust by Focus. Now, we're going to see also Lin do something, just a mistake. Here he looks like he's going to fight, but then he pulls back. I guess he didn't feel he was in position to fight there. Anyway, his Blade Master is now going in, but he doesn't realize, apparently, that Windwalk is cooling down. So, always watch for this. Windwalk is cooling down, so he's going to become visible right there. Oops. Surprise. So he does realize it, turns around, but now he's separated from the rest of his army. And so I think he was just gearing up to fight, but now he's going to have to give that up because his Blade Master is separated from the rest of his army, and he doesn't want to fight in that position. So he does buy a Staff of Teleportation to try and get out of there. He TPs, but Focus comes in and hexes him. So Focus showing some really good awareness there to come in and do that hex at the right time. And Lin, Blade Master, is separated for even longer. And what that's going to mean is that he didn't get to fight when he wanted to. He had to wait, excuse me. Yeah, Focus just lost a cow. Bad planning there. Focus just hit with the dust, but the Blade Master is too far away, so he almost got a chance to put even more damage on it. Then he dusted again, not realizing he dusted it the first time. Now, Lin speed scrolls in. Speed scrolls are a good way to start battles, because you can get your units into position, but Lin didn't manage to get his Kodos in really good position. Notice he hasn't devoured anything. He has killed a Grunt because Focus is being slow to replace the Spirit Link when it gets dispelled. So he just lost 2 Grunts there, and basically those were unlinked Grunts. And when you see those, the thing to do, I mean, here's another one. So what Lin should be doing is turning his, there it's linked now. He needs to turn his Spirit Walker Focus Fire onto that, and it goes down really fast. Anyway, now notice that Focus was allowing his Shadowhunter to get focused without a Spirit Link on, and it took a lot of damage. But once it gets linked and it moves away, the Blade Master just has to give up. It's not worth chasing it at that point. Let's see. Yeah, Focus decided to TP again. Notices that a lot of his units were low. He was at that critical point where you have to get out. That's what happens with Spirit Link. And again, it's another lost battle for Focus. So you might be wondering, at this point, how on earth does he win this game? Well, basically, that Blade Master with 2 claws is going to do it for him. He did sell his circlet. Yeah, I wouldn't have sold the circlet. Maybe he transferred it. Okay, he transferred it to his Shadowhunter. That's a better idea. And now, yeah, he's scouting with his Blade Master. Do that. Definitely scout with your Blade Master. That's what it's there for. And, well, it's there for scouting and for totally raping your opponent's army, but scouting is good. So he's buying a Staff of Teleportation, and I think he should have bought a Healing Scroll there. The rule of thumb, in general, and maybe it was taken. Maybe that's why he didn't buy it. The rule of thumb is 1 Healing Scroll per working gold mine. So here Focus has 2 gold mines, although this one's almost out. With 2 gold mines, you generally want to have 2 Healing Scrolls. Now, Focus coming in for this little harass on Lin's expansion. Notice Lin made a really good choice to put a burrow here. This is saving his peons. Otherwise, he would lose a lot of peons. Instead, he's going to lose the burrow, but that's not as big of a deal because it doesn't cost him mining time while he has to replace the peons. And now, Focus gets ensnared a couple times, and it's going to have to burn an invuln pot to get out. So, not the most effective harass. He did kill a burrow. Burrows are always good targets, but you would hope to get more out of it than that, and that's why Lin put up a burrow. Now, he's going to go in for a harass, and notice the Focus doesn't have a burrow, but what he does have is an army not very far away. So, this is not going to be effective either. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, and the army comes in before any peons can be killed, and this time Lin has to use his invuln pot to get out. Now, one thing that Focus did, which I don't think he did too well in this game, he got a Witch Doctor and put down a Sentry Ward, but what did he get out of that Sentry Ward? 1 hit on the opponent's Blade Master, which is not too exciting. He got, 1 hit. Okay, Focus again. Now he just sold that staff, which he never used. It was not the best investment. So, not a flawless game by any means. He got 1 Spirit Walker hit on the Blade Master for that Witch Doctor, which is not the most exciting thing ever. Yeah, now Lin continuing to do some creeping, and he's going to get his Shadowhunter level 5 before the battle, and level 5 Shadowhunter is huge. You get Healing Wave at level 5, by the way, not Hex. The Hex lasts long enough at level 2, you don't need it level 3. And Focus, of course, is going to do the same thing and get his Shadowhunter level 5, because you really need it. It really helps. And Focus, for the battle, Focus is also going to have a level 5 Blade Master. And at level, again, you don't get Windwalk. Level 3 Windwalk is nearly useless. Well, no, it's as good as level 2 Windwalk, but it's not much better. That's a Tome of Experience. Excellent drop. That's exactly what you want to see drop when you have a hero that you want to get to level 5. Anyway, looks like Lin was thinking about pushing the main, which I think would have been a better choice than doing what he ends up doing and pushing the Expo. Just because, you know, there is this Sentry Ward out here. He's going to be spotted early. That TP is going to go off very quickly. So, yeah, Focus doesn't even bother to pick that up. So, he teleports in, and you just have to TP out right away. You don't want to run away against raiders once again. When Focus TP'd in and there were a bunch of raiders suddenly on top of Lin, Lin had to TP out. So it ended up being a TP trade, which got Focus back onto his side of the map, which I guess is a good thing for Lin. On this map, you always want to make sure that your opponent is staying on his side of the map. But what it also did was it allowed Focus. Now Focus, notice, has a bunch of peons with him, and he's going to go out. Excuse me. Also, both players now putting down expansions because their mains are empty, and they needed an extra base to maintain their low upkeep level. So, Focus now bringing a lot of peons, because basically he's going all in here. Normally you wouldn't bring every peon out of your base. You know, that robs you of all lumber income, even to a big fight. But what it is going to do is it gives him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 peons, which is a lot of damage absorbed from your army. So, it's a good thing. And keep in mind that in Warcraft, damage is calculated using real numbers. So it's not like if somebody does 10 damage, it's not like there's a minimum of 1 damage per hit or something. It's like actually